So, I'm Michael, I'm the owner of TBF, Trained by Fox Coaching, and I coach any individual that wants to achieve a physique transformation, who wants to improve their knowledge within training, nutrition and supplementation, who wants to go down the assisted route in a very safe manner. And I pride myself on my service and delivering the best service I possibly can. When did I first get into the gym and fitness? I was probably about 20, 21. It was after a breakup. Realistically, that kind of pushed me into, right, I need to find something to occupy my brain, and I actually needed to lose weight. I was around 18 stone, really overweight at the time. So I started at this gym. It was Ilkeston Gym at the time, which drastically changed to me training here at Platinum. So I always opt for this being the first ever gym I trained at, which the owner, Christopher Law, kind of helped me with, kind of directing me in basically directing me in what to do, which I'm very grateful for, and I will be forever grateful for. And then as the years went on, obviously you're surrounded by bodybuilders, you're surrounded by people that are training intensely, and suddenly you become obsessed with that, which led me into obviously wanting to get as knowledgeable as I can within bodybuilding and the industry. So that's where I kind of started that, and that later on was always an area I wanted to improve on. What got me into coaching? I'm gonna say my passion for loving and seeing people do well and achieve things they didn't think was possible, but also my experience of bad coaching, right from like literally people just almost putting a price on it, you pay and this service not being there, to almost cookie cutter diets where literally, I remember receiving one once, and one of my friends was working with that particular coach at the time as well, and we had a look, and the training plan was the same, the nutrition plan was the same. So like, I ultimately wanted to be the new, like almost take over kind of that coaching part and think, right, I'm not going to deliver things to this. People are going to get everything they deserve on top of just results, actually being with somebody who gives a fuck. Before becoming a coach, obviously I'd spent years on a gym floor, which if we take it right back before the gym floor days, is you actually have to pass a PT course. So I spent years in jobs that I absolutely hated. And I'll say this because like at that time I was so married to being a bodybuilder, I didn't care where I was working that brought the money in. I just needed money to source my love and passion for bodybuilding. So I didn't care, but obviously if everything going on at home is negative, i.e. like my job I hated, which then put me in a negative point, and my partner, like she suffered the stint of that because a negative mindset is going to be depressed. So then it was like, right, unfortunately I had a heart attack, which then led me to, right, I need to make the move now. I don't want to sit here again and regret not doing things I wanted. So that led me then into taking a PT course, which pretty much got passed instantly. And then that's when I started PTing. Right, so having mentioned the heart attack, I imagine there's a lot of people wondering. So I woke up an absolute sweating mess. My shoulder and neck was hurting, and I generally felt like I was almost probably having a hypo. I probably slept funny, So then I text the coach I was working with at the minute, and we kind of both confirmed, I bet it's just a hypo. So I literally sat at the table at 5 o'clock in the morning, wolfing down some Cocoa Pops. I get back in bed, my partner's like, you need to ring in sick with work, you can't go to work like this. So I ring work, and it's actually payday on this particular day. So they already know I hate my job. And now they're acute, like basically assuming that because it's payday, that is why I don't want to go to work. And then to kind of have some ammunition to the fact that that wasn't the case, we rang the hospital number, I think it's 101 or whatever, and we went through all the symptoms and everything that was going on, and they told me I needed to go to the hospital. So I had to get to Queen's Med. I get in the car, Molly, my other half, she's gone to work, and I'm actually driving to Nottingham, and I'm thinking, oh, shall I just go to the butcher's, get some chicken and tell her that everything's all right? And I thought, she's never gonna believe that. So I get to Queen's Med, they see me, they put me straight through an ECG. ECG reading shows something's wrong. So you go through multiple scans, and they chucked me into an ambulance, and they sped me off to Nottingham City. And it was only when I got in the ambulance, I actually knew what had happened. So the ambulance driver, or his assistant, should I say, says, how old are you, mate? And I says, 28. And he says, I can't believe it, you're 28, you've had a heart attack. And I was shocked, like that threw my world upside down, because obviously everyone's expectations of a heart attack is you're kind of on the floor, holding your heart, probably passed out or whatever. And I was like, I feel fine, what are you on about? And then they had to confirm it, went straight into theatre.
All I could think of was, we've never ever spoke about a funeral before, and all I thought was, does he want cremating? Does he want buried? It's so weird. Hi, my name's Molly, and I'm Michael's fiance. Been with Michael for 11 years. We met in 2011. So yeah. No, we met in 2010, sorry. And then we got together in 2011. When I was in the room waiting, it was awful. It was the worst 2 hours of my life. They took ages for somebody to come and see me, which I understand because they're busy. But I just thought he was dead. Like, because he last texted me and said they're taking me to City Hospital, and I had to drive around trying to find out where he'd be because I didn't know any facts. So this lovely nurse took me up to where the patients would be, and they said, oh yeah, he's in. And I was like, well, how is he? And they just says, oh, we can't tell you anymore, go and wait in this room. And in the room there's boxes of tissues and how to deal with grief and death and stuff like that. And I just thought, right, that's it, he's gone then. All I could think of was, we've never ever spoke about a funeral before, and all I thought was, does he want cremating? Does he want buried? It's so weird. But obviously it was fine. It's strange. Very strange. I remember what I said to him when he came around. He woke up and I said, I'm sorry, because I thought that you were exaggerating. And he just opened his eyes and he was all delirious. But yeah, I said, I can't believe I let you drive to the hospital when you were actually having a heart attack. And he was just like, it's okay.
So being on the ward after, like, this is probably some of the times where I've kept this a secret. Like, there wasn't a night where I didn't have a fucking cry. Like you imagine that everything you've been wanting to achieve and do, you basically a hit with something that you didn't see coming, then you're paying for a coach. And again, like, I take full ownership of my body and what happened in that situation. And that particular person hasn't even though they're local, hasn't even come to visit you. Like, that made me emotional. And then the fact that my partner's quizzing like everything and worried and thinks that this is the worst thing since everything. And she's like, I can't be there for her. And then not knowing whether I'm going to be able to train again, not knowing whether I'm going to like be able to actually pursue bodybuilding anymore. Like, all of these shit's going through my mind. So it was an emotional shit. Like the real ones, like, know they are, that was there and they was comforting me, and like, yeah, it was rough. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. No. I got home on the Friday, and on the Monday I had to have a phone call with basically the cardiac rehabilitation center, which is, it's almost, as you can imagine, you break a bone and you have to go to rehab, and you kind of go to see a physio and so on. So they're like the physio of hearts. And I was heavily educated in like how the heart worked and all of that, believe it or not. So I'm sat there and they're going through all this, and they were telling me that, oh, it's going to be 6-7 weeks, it's going to be this. And I was a stubborn, yeah, SOB. And because I just couldn't do it. Like, I'm used to being so active. I'm used to like going to the gym 4 or 5 times a week. I'm used to being at work 5 times a week. As much as I hated the job, like, I would have done anything to have been back at work in some sort of civilized manner. So I kept going to this rehab center, and the woman kind of understood that I was the youngest person there. Like, that was heartbreaking. Like, everyone there was like, they abused alcohol, they'd smoke. It was really unfair. And it shows you that, like, don't take your health for granted, because at the point that I thought I was healthy, obviously there was implications stating I wasn't. And again, this is the importance of getting blood work done. So realistically, I kind of self-signed myself out of the rehab thing 4 weeks in, so 3 weeks earlier than I should. I hired my very good friend Callum Rainstrick. At the time, he was under his own brand of CR Physique. He's now Callum Pro Coach, and he gave me the tools and the confidence in going to the gym much earlier. And again, like, I owe that man a lot, in the sense that someone who's shown a level of actual care and didn't just sit back and watch. Like, immediately we was checking blood pressure, was checking blood glucose, all these health markers was important. The level of detail he put within his coaching was just like, it opened my eyes to a new world. And it was probably the biggest mistake I ever made by not going to him sooner, but it was the best decision I made going to him after that. Like, again, would this have happened would the heart attack have happened if I went with Cal immediately? No, I don't think it would. And again, that is no disrespect to the other individual I went with. It was just the risk factors, so on and so on. It was absolutely, like, to me, hiring Cal, it was the best decision of my life, because it opened me up to a world of what coaching should be and how coaching should be delivered. And that literally gave me the standards of where I wanted my own coaching to be long term. And so it was like, that investment was worth so much in the sense of knowledge. Like, the transformation we achieved was crazy, and just the trust that it put back into people from me, because yeah, it was a strange experience being in a hospital bed, having believed that because you go to the gym, because you eat well, all of this, you're safe. Did the heart attack change me? Molly would say yeah.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a change before and after. He wasn't as, I feel like, as dramatic as it sounds, it's like a near-death experience, so it's changed his whole outlook on everything. He used to, like, if he got annoyed about certain things, he'd get annoyed about it and that would be it. But now he gets annoyed and then he thinks, well, no, there's bigger things to life, there's more important things to life and stuff like that. And he was definitely a lot less healthy before the heart attack, and now he's really focused on his, like, heart rate and his blood pressure and all that sort of stuff. So he does look after himself a lot more.
So what do I offer clients of a coach? So now I feel like the Train by Fox is almost becoming a little cult, and I only say this because someone actually said this to me, and that cult is that it's not just that you're an online client. Like, I meet up with my clients, like we have regular days, like we have posing seminars, we have sessions together, and the reality is I want to show other people that may be on the fence about coaching or even want some help with like their lives. Like, so they get all the normal things, the training plan, the nutrition plan, the supplementation, the check-ins, they get an exercise library. I have a Train by Fox app now. There's a client portal that goes over educational stuff and all of this. But at the forefront is I've probably experienced absolutely everything that they're looking to experience. So they're not just talking to some school leaver that doesn't want to go and do a full-time job and I think that they're missing out very valuable life lessons that would help them in coaching. What do I provide that others don't? Care, compassion, empathy, and also a bollocking when you need one. Because you do need the odd bollocking in this, because as much as it's about kind of like, right, we're not going to get from A to B in this speed. Like, if your goal needs that, I'm going to come down on you like a ton of bricks to make sure you achieve that at the end of the day.
Michael's best quality, he's very passionate, he's very understanding, very kind, too kind. Sometimes people see that as a bit of a weakness, I think. Some people take the mick a bit. He's really thoughtful, he really thinks about, especially with me and stuff, he thinks about little things. Yeah, he's got a very good drive. Like, he'll work till late at night, get up really early in the morning. He is committed to his job, and I love that about him. So if somebody was looking for a coach, I think that Michael would probably be the best person because of how much he cares about people, and it's not just a number to him. He genuinely has connections with pretty much all of his clients. He likes hearing from them, he likes seeing them do well. He'll always think about your health first before anything else. And he's just a nice guy. People like him.
When I was in hospital, I came across a quote, and I can't remember it fully, but it was something like, in life, you were born with two lives. And at the point that you almost lose one, you realize that you need to start living the other. So like, that might be that you go out after something that you're really passionate about, but whatever you do it with purpose. That is the reality. Like, find what you love and keep doing it till that life goes.